What's up, guys? It's Death Dragon here, and today we're going to be going over the changes to auto rifles that were applied in 2.5.0.2's latest balance patch for Destiny, as well as my personal thoughts on said changes and how auto rifles perform in the current state of the game. So in today's video, we're going to have two separate pieces of gameplay. The first one here is me using Source Regime on Shores of Time. I start out with spinning up and later switch to Focused Fire to show state of Focused Fire in the meta as well as just auto rifles in general, because I know Focused Fire is a bit of a spot of contention. You'll see here, especially if you compare it to my gameplay from last episode of this series, you'll notice I'm playing a lot more passive. If you're going to use an auto rifle in the current state of the game, which I don't know is the best idea, despite the bugs. If you're going to use one, you need to play a bit more passively. Not quite a scout or a pulse's role, but you should do your best to play slightly outside of hand cannon range, because hand cannons will kill you faster inside of their own effective range. And they're generally easier to use as well. Like this here, if I had a hand cannon, I would have been able to land 3 shots on him instead of having to continually keep my cursor on him and land all these shots. Even though this is awful kill, I was sloppy as all hell, but it just shows the point that other weapons are generally easier to use than autos. And I don't think autos are hard to use. They're probably the easiest to use, contrary to what I just said, but they're the hardest to get kills in the current meta, because you need to keep your cursor on them. Despite it being forgiving if you miss and everything, contrary to hand cannons, scouts, and whatnot, even though it's forgiving, it still takes so much consistency to keep it on them. If they get behind cover, and they peek out for just a second, and they put 1 shot on you with a hand cannon, they've done 50 to 80 damage, and you've put 1 or 2 on them with your Thuros and done like 40 to 60 damage. There's a bit of a disparity there. The hand cannon's almost always going to be hitting more. One of the reasons hand cannons were so good during the House of Wolves era was the fact that you could expose your body for such a short period of time and do so much damage. That's why pulse rifles, even with their amazing time to kill, weren't as competitive. In this Thuros gameplay here, you'll notice right about now I start to switch to Focus Fire. This is right when the time where I'm thinking I should probably start switching soon so that I can have an even spread in the gameplay. And Focus Fire it's good in the current meta. It's not nearly as bad as it used to be. It doesn't necessarily buff your auto rifles, it makes their time to kill roughly the same as opposed to being lower as it used to be. But it allows you to hit consistently at further distances, thus more easily distancing yourself from that hand cannon range that you really need to stay out of, because inside of that hand cannon range, as I said before, hand cannons will beat you. You can see here that Thuros is doing pretty good over at these, like, almost scout rifle-esque ranges. Maybe pulse rifle would be more accurate, though. And because of Focus Fire and booster range that it gives you when you have it on. And okay, I've been dancing around a point quite a bit here. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick at the moment. I've been dancing around a point a little bit because auto rifles, despite me wanting them to be good, me liking them a lot, aren't very good right now. They're not bad. They can compete, but they can't hang with hand cannon. You know, Hawksaw pulse rifles for the most part. Not just the Hawksaw, that entire archetype, the fast firing pulse rifles, because they didn't really get buffed. The 0.5% critical damage on all of them is really negligible, only equating to maybe 1 damage in certain scenarios. And the buff to high impact autos was not a bad buff. It did something, but the effect was really negligible at best, if we're being entirely honest here. And because of that, autos, they're not really any better than where they were. The only reason they're competitive right now, or almost competitive, they're not like perfectly competitive as has been over earlier. The only reason they're competitive is because we've been through the full cycle of everything else getting nerfed down to the level auto rifles were nerfed too. I mean, ever since they were nerfed in vanilla, they've never really had a substantial buff since then. I just don't think Bungie really likes auto rifles. I don't quite know, but it's never had a substantial buff whatsoever, and this is no different. The only reason they're competitive is because everything else has been through the rinse cycle and nerfed down, and I don't know, I guess if that's the way Bungie wants to run their game, they can run the game how they want, but I don't personally think it's a good idea. I think buffs are better than nerfs, for the sole reason that nerfs feel worse. That's just a nerf that allows you to creatively think of new ways to win and whatnot. Look into Extra Credits video on the topic. It's a great channel, and they have a very good video on this subject I'm speaking about here. And for the most part, you'll see this auto rifle, Monte Carlo I'm using here. It can kill these people fast, but it just can't compete with these others. I think that's really the main problem with auto rifles right now. I don't think they're that great, honestly. And I'm officially talking in circles, so I'm going to bring this video to a close here. I bid ye farewell.